The ban of PFAS is much talked about. It was introduced almost a year ago, or from proposals from Germany, Holland, Denmark and Sweden in the EU. They proposed a grouped approach for all PFASs where they would be banned, they would not be permitted to use, unless there was an application with no usable alternatives, or if there was an extremely critical application. This ban is still in the making. There are some proposals. It's a political process. So you never know when it is going to pass and be made effective, but it is expected that by 2025 it will enter into force. So we don't know the actual extent of it, but this is what we know now. But we have seen that the main producer of PFAS has actually announced that they will voluntarily stop their production of PFAS, all their PFAS, by 2025, by the end of 2025. And I think that's a very good indication that everybody knows that it is something which will not be available in the future. And I have to also say that the knowledge of the dangers of using PFAS was already available in the 50s, but it was hidden with the PFAS manufacturers. They were not going forward and told, yeah, there are these biological hazards of using it. So it has been hidden until now, where it is surfacing, and you see all these initiatives against PFAS. You also read about it in the newspaper almost every day, that you find PFAS everywhere, and it is a big problem for the environment. There will be a lot of consequences for the owners of PFAS systems. That's clear to everyone. There will be very likely a ban, so they cannot have it refilled. But already now, when some of the manufacturers, they are voluntarily stopping the manufacture of these substances. Of course, it will influence the system availability. So if you have a discharge of the system, you may not be able to have it refilled. You may not be able to have it serviced. You may even, at the end of the system life, have to pay a big penalty of getting rid of the chemical waste that you have in your cylinders, because this is something that you cannot use for anything else. So it has to be treated chemically to become acceptable, to break it down and form it back into something else that is not so harmful. And that's a very costly process. So it's also likely that there will be high penalties for the system owners of the systems containing the PFAS. There is absolutely no risk that Inergen will end up in the same situation as PFAS, because the very nature of Inergen is that we are using the components of natural atmospheric air. We're not changing anything, we're just borrowing air from the atmosphere, and then we are letting it back into the atmosphere. So there are absolutely no risk or chances that Inergen will end up in the same situation. Inergen is a completely sustainable solution.